Hello, YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot, all that good stuff. In the last uploaded video by me, Blade Junkie, you were, well, as I said, the last uploaded, not necessarily the last you saw, but the last uploaded, I was showing you the, Epic 6x6, and I believe I finished off by showing you what was wrong. So I'm showing you myself here now, how you, yourself there, whenever, can kind of fix that issue if you have the ability to do this. The gears on mine are a little sensitive, but yours might not be. Yours might have a more hardcore reduction for the gear ratio, or it might not. It might be something you want to be fast but a good horsepower. If you're using RC motors, use this. I don't care. Whatever. Just whatever you do, just think of this next time you use portals. It might be a little easier. So last time I was showing you the 8-tooth and 24-tooth deal here. Right there. And I was showing you what was wrong with that, and it's that this is not really the right length because it may be one stud wide, but it sinks into the little dip in the parts. So, take it off, show you the 8-tooth gear and 24-tooth gear combination doesn't quite work. It works well as far as gearing it down goes, but as far as flex goes, it doesn't work quite as nicely. So, yeah, I'm going to show you what I'm using now. So now, I'm using a 12-tooth gear. Those are the little beveled gears as the upper gear, of course, because you don't want to really gear it up at all. That'd probably be a terrible idea in most vehicles like that. And, oh yeah, this here is a 20-tooth gear. Another bevel gear. I'm giving you these colors because it's a little easier for color representation, and because this one's standard, usually the standard color would be black now. But I'm using gray ones from older Bionicle sets because it makes it a little more easily visible on camera, a little better shadow appearance, so that you can more easily identify it. So, that's that with those on there. And so, quite an easy thing to do. And so now if I turn it on, I'll show you this here, all the wheels turning, that represents forward. That would be backward, of course. As you know, portal axles reverse the direction of the original, so, you know, quite interesting. So that's cool. But oh, right, the steering, of course I could show you now. The steering hasn't changed at all. But, it's alright. It's still cool, that it works. Let's see. Come on. Still a pretty decent ratio of gears, but, hopefully a reasonable amount of drive as well. Now, if you'll just give me a moment here. Let me see. Hold up a second. Oh, darn. Well, never mind that then. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. Yeah, well, right then. Anyway, that's fine and dandy. So, hey, what's this about? Oh, that ain't bad. Oh, this is weird, but alright, that's cool. Alright, we got some Bioshock music in the back, because it's awesome. Well, technically it's not Bioshock, it's songs heard from Bioshock, or in Bioshock, featured in the game. Bioshock 2, I believe. The song that's playing right now is Daddy Won't You Please Come Home by Annette Henshaw. Just one of many good older songs that were brought back to life, I believe, by Bioshock 2. Which, might I add, is quite an incredible series, the Bioshock games, so, that's cool. Alright, sorry about that, all that weird stalling. That was me trying to find that song. Because I'm trying to listen to the Bioshock stuff. So, yeah, I've changed all of them, all the way around. If I turn it around, you will see that. I've replaced all of the 8-tooth gears with 12-tooth gears and all the 24-tooth gears with 20-tooth gears. Right there. So that's pretty cool. Oh, right, the turntable. The springs. Quite interesting in appearance. A little less common, but I like using this mounting method. The horizontal method seems to work nicely. It gives you a really good pushback on it, and it allows it to have, you know, a little more compression at standard level. At standard, you know, just when it's flat, I guess you could call it. Ooh, that's some terrible sounding scraping right there. Let's see if I can show you anything here. No, I can't. My apologies for that. Alright, well, I can, but, like I said, in other videos, check out the, previous video if you'd like to hear more about a freaking design. Alright, so, if I were to put the wheels back on, which I have stacked up over here, woo-ah, larger tires, these were featured originally, I believe, in the, off-road, or I don't know what the item number was, but, watch the previous videos if you're interested in these tires, but one thing I will tell you, each of these is made of 8 tires. There are 8 tires in this thing right here. There were 9 before I had my hubs shipped in, and that was done quite easily. And I believe, actually, I'll go show you. No, maybe not. Maybe another time I'll show you that, but for now I'll just tell you, there are 8 tires right here. There's this one, and there are 7 smaller ones inside of this large tire. So, that's just because it prevents really a lot of loss in traction. So, if I were to put all of these back on, just to show you, of course, the appropriate appearance of this vehicle, among other things, and you will notice about these, I have taken off these little things, and these I would usually put on to get really, really good grip on the axle, because the way I use my axles is I use the capped axles, so they never slide out, and then that means that the only thing I have to worry about as far as sliding out is the wheels sliding off the axles. So, what I will most commonly do, which you have probably seen before, is use these small red things here, and one of these half bushing things, like a really miniaturized pulley, or, you know, something like that, something to that effect. Anyway, now let's see. I'm sorry, this has taken me a long time, I realize, for putting on a few tires, but whatever. Wheels rather, not tires, but you know, interesting. Let's see. Oh darn! I'll be right back. As soon as I see you across the room. Right here. Because I need tissues. Alrighty then. Now, as I said in the last video, I think I'm coming on with a cold. So, you know, yeah, that sucks. Alright, now, just try to quickly assemble these. Because 8 minutes is ridiculous for me to show you this thing. I'm just that terrible at this. And I don't really edit my videos. Look at this. I'm trying to put a bushing on when I don't even have my tire on. Oh yeah, Unimog tires. 2011 flagship set. Mercedes-Benz Unimog 5400, I believe it was. I actually have no idea if that's what it was. It probably wasn't that, but if it was, cool. Then I got it right, whatever. Alright, and here we go. You know, listening to this song brings me back to playing BioShock for the first time, because it was just really a surreal kind of experience, I think. You know, to have that kind of thing go down, because that was a really good game, but, you know, if you've played it, you'll know. It was kind of odd, but, I'll leave you to play the game and figure that out. Alright, now, Check this out. Look at these. Look at all these gears over here. It's going to be crazy looking. Maybe, maybe not. You've probably seen a lot more parts in this, but I did have more of these, but they're not here. They're in my big bucket of stuff. So these are all gears from the prior to me removing them. This is what gear ratio I had in there all over the place. Yeah, right now I'll move all that junk over so that I can show you this. Oh, I'm terrible with the camera that's not mounted on something, which is why I originally built something to mount it on, but now I don't, because now I don't have that because I disassembled it because I required parts for the build, which was actually this build, the Epic 6x6. So, here it is, now with all that stuff on there, and with the new gear ratio. So, I guess I should probably show you over here first. You will notice, push down on it, it's a lot harder to get any bend out of that. Alright, well, maybe it doesn't look like it, but you know, it looks like it bends just as much, but that's just the tire moving on the wheel, the rim there. But whatever. Anyway, beforehand it was the plastic in the wheel itself, the rim moving. But now, weight has no effect on it at all whatsoever, for the most part, because it doesn't have room for the portals to sink onto the gears anymore. So that's good. It's a very good thing. You can see it's quite interesting. It's quite hardcore, in my opinion. So, I don't know how fast it is, because I've never used this gear ratio, because I've heard that it's incredibly unwise. But I found if you gear it down enough, it can work really well. So, I'm going to turn it on for you there. Oh, that is some speed now. Look at it, rolling. So I guess this is just a video showing you kind of the chassis of it, and so that's the little gear portion of it. I decided to start splitting my videos because I figured people probably do not like those 45-minute long videos. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess this is part one of all that baloney. So you can see the horsepower in the vehicle is not terribly different. It looks to me like it's going a lot faster, and there's a lot less flex in the suspension, or not the suspension. There's just generally less flexing in the steering of the vehicle. So but you can see there is a little bit less torque in it because now it can't pull itself up an object like that quite as easily. I believe it could still do that if I really wanted it to, but that's not what this is about. So, alright, now I'll show you the remainder of the vehicle. So this is the back end of it, and oh yeah, significant thing here. Oh man, my cords are getting all wound up. Alright, significant kind of thing here. Tube frame. Quite impressive, quite helpful, quite robust. Keeps a very, very strong frame inside to have everything consolidated. And then you have a lot of room to work outside, like having the engine, which my fake engine was right about here. Or having the extra motors, which the motor for the fake engine was right about here. And the receivers were all right about here, I think. Yeah, and I believe the winch motor was located right about here. So, yeah, it fit nicely in there, too, when everything was on there. It had that big platform up here and all that. So, yeah, I just randomly clipped in the receiver. So, it originally used this battery pack. I decided to go with something more lightweight because it was heavy enough as it was eventually. So I used the 8878 battery pack up here. Watch the other videos if you have any interest in seeing that. So, yeah, I guess there's really not a lot. There's really not a lot left to show you about it. So that's pretty much the simplicity of it, just the chassis and everything. But I guess I can still show you more. If you've seen the other videos, you'll recognize this has suspension. Functions quite nicely, if I do say so myself. It's a good suspension setup. Makes things easy to put the suspension on an entire rotating platform. Makes it a lot easier to work with. So when the suspension turns 2, it's more compact, believe it or not. Or in this case, it's just a little more accessible. Turntable on the second axle and third axle. So between the second and third axles, and between the second and first axles. Now, in one episode of this whole thing about whatever this vehicle is called, the Epic 6x6, I can't even remember the name of my own creation, I noted that it has dependent suspension in the front, and it does. Well, you can call it independent or dependent, but pretty much the difference that I see in that is that with this, it gives you, like, this will move, and the body really won't, for the most part. So for the most part, this is about as independent as it gets on this, aside from the third axle. The third axle is fully independent of the body. The second axle is mildly dependent on the body, but still considered as independent. The front axle moves the whole body, making it a completely dependent suspension on the front axle. But now I do have a what do you call that? A coupler link for the front end of my next creation, so I'm planning to use that if I can. I don't actually know what my next creation is going to be, though, so sorry to tell you that, but whatever. So I just thought I would show you what this thing kind of looks like under the hood, so to speak. It's not really the hood, but, obviously it's not really the hood. The thing didn't have a hood. So yeah, let's here be the lower bit of the creation. So yeah, like I said, 6-wheel drive, triple axle, front wheel steering, 4-wheel independent suspension, 2-wheel dependent suspension, dual XL motor drive, single medium motor steering, universal joint connecting the independent rear axle with the secondary axle, and those are, just so you know, the heavy duty version. There, you can't really see it that well, but that is the 4-stud length piece. So yeah, very strong, very robust, which in my book doesn't just mean strong, it can also mean large. Custom portals in the front and a custom frame in the front to accompany the full-sized universal joints as well. So those are also 4-stud length universal joints with 1/2 stud bushing for a lengthener on each side, which makes it a little bit weaker as far as the twist factor goes, but generally it's a stronger universal joint. I don't mind if my axles bend, but if the universal joints break, that's a problem for me. So that's why I try not to use them very often. That's why I made this specifically to use the larger, more they can't be large and compact, so that was the wrong word. The larger and therefore stronger universal joints. Woo-ha! Took a while to get that out properly. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do not forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And, yeah. Sorry this video was long and boring again. Then again, if you're watching this video and you know who I am in any way, like you've seen my channel before or anything, it's not new to you that I take too long, so you probably skipped through it anyway. But if you did, that's fine. That just increases your level of efficiency as far as information gathering goes, which works quite nicely. Yeah, as I said, comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is Play Junkie. Sign off. Thanks. See you later, guys.